Hello and welcome to the channel. I am Walt, and today I have something that is just spectacular to talk about. This has to do with mixing. Those who DIY their own e-juice and those who produce e-juice as well. In the past, a lot of folks have used different methods: shaking, magnetic stir, overhead stir. I'm sure there are a number of other ways as well. There's another way to do it, but it's been extremely cost prohibitive, and this particular device is addressing that. Now, this is made by a gentleman. He makes it in his own shop, and he's going to sell it in limited quantities, obviously. Okay, he designed this. He's been working at it for years now. He has it in a number of different English-speaking countries where it's being beta tested. All of the responses so far have been just extremely positive. Everybody is pretty much just amazed. This unit is called the GC, okay, standing for Game Changer Homogenizer Probe, okay, and it is custom made for e-juice. The holes in the stator, as well as the way that the rotor on the inside is designed, is made especially for blending e-juice. The one that I have has been made for a Pro Scientific motor because I had one, and it works absolutely fabulously. He is also making them, however, for higher end Dremel or mono tools. So this is saving cost in two ways. It is really easy for a motor and a generator, okay, bought through a medical manufacturer, to cost a minimum for the lowest, smallest model of $2,000. Okay, this will cost less than 1/5 of that. I'll say that again, less than 1/5 of that, and it will do a better job. I have medical devices myself here, probe, okay. I've tested them side by side. This does a much better job on e-juice, okay. It is simply an amazing piece of equipment. So what we're going to do is I'm going to walk through how I use it, kind of like a demonstration. You'll actually get to see it in action, okay. And then after that, I'm going to say just a little bit more about it, because it's kind of hard to say enough about this device. The machining is just spot on. It is just fantastic. It's very easy to clean. You hold the rotor and unscrew the top and it'll pull apart. You can clean this thing up. It really is a very, very finely made piece of equipment. Okay, so let's take a look at it. I'll show you what I can. I'm sure I won't be able to show you everything because there's just a lot to this, especially technically. And we'll go from there. I'm going to start with first things first, and I'm going to start out by heating my VG. As we know, VG is very thick or very viscous, and by heating it we can make it thinner or less viscous, and it will blend a lot better with the rest of what goes into the e-juice. So I've got it set here, you can see, for 140 degrees Fahrenheit, which is 60 degrees Celsius. And right now it's only 76.7 degrees. There's my bottle of VG sitting right in there. And obviously this is a sous vide heater, so I'm going to turn that on and get that going. All right, so, and while that's heating, in just a bit here we'll start up the mix. To calculate my recipes and find out the weights of all the different additives inside of a mix, I use eJuice Me Up, which is a free program you can find on the net and download, and it works real nice. I get a printout of it, and so I'm going to take the flask off, start up the scale, And I'll test my scale to make sure it's still within calibration. And there we go, settled right down into 200 grams without a problem. I'm going to take my flask, put it right on there as close as I can to center, and we're going to hit the tare button, so that'll re-zero the scale with that flask on there. The first additive that I have here is a nicotine. Well, let's add that. As you get closer, it's best to slow down. Pretty much impossible to get it exact to the 100th of a gram because each drop weighs more than that. So get it as close as you can for the drop size that you're using. And that's about it for what I can do there. So I'm going to hit tare on that. And the next thing I'm going to add is my PG. Now it gets quite a bit of PG, so here we go with that. And again, kind of watching close. You don't want to overrun it. It takes the scale a little bit of time to catch up. So you got to pour a little, let the scale catch up. Pour a little, that kind of a thing. All right, that one happened to land dead on. That's a rarity. So we'll hit tare again, zero that out. This is a real simple mix here. This is a simple strawberry mix. It uses two different strawberries, two different strawberry concentrates, I guess I should say. There's another rarity kinda. It just turned out that these two strawberries blended for me best with equal amounts. I tried, shuffling them one way or the other, and I went back to 50-50 on this. Kind of different. All right, so that's the first one. Hit our tare again. Get the second one. Too bad this video isn't scratch and sniff. This is the one that you can really smell that strawberry coming out. All right. Tare that one. And lastly, want just a little bit of sweetener. And there we have it. Now, I'm going to put a stopper in here to keep anything from aerating the juice from volatiles from escaping at this point in time anyway. I'm going to go ahead and turn off the scale. And now we just got to wait for the VG to come up to temperature. So as soon as that comes up to temp, we'll come back and get that going. Okay, so now I've just added the heated VG, and I'm going to get my homogenizer started and get it going in here. I try to do this in such a manner that you can see it, I'm hoping anyway. So we'll lower that down in there, and starting out at a really low speed. And I gotta find the speed adjustment on this thing. There it is. Now we want that port, the top porthole just down into the liquid, and we start increasing it. Increasing the speed. Check out that mixing action. Now she's cooking. Man, oh man. It just doesn't take long at all. And that's it. Your e-juice is blended. I'm going to put the lid back on it. Now, what I will do, and this is totally optional, all the bubbles you see in there are volatiles. This homogenizer does not draw a vortex. It does not pull oxygen down into it. Okay, so those are all volatiles that you really want out of there anyway. So I'm going to put it in a ultrasonic cleaner for 5 minutes, and that will get rid of all those gas bubbles in there, and it'll be perfectly clear. Like I say, it is optional. You could just leave it out and they would settle on their own without the use of the ultrasonic cleaner. So I'll do that, and then we'll have a last little talk about it. Just a couple things to go over to wrap it up. Here is our finished product. Beautiful, nice, clear e-juice, 125 milliliters. What I will do with that next is I will let that sit overnight. Now there's, you get on sites that talk about homogenizing and whatnot after using the homogenizer, they talk about a settling period. And to be honest with you, I don't know what that is. I just know that overnight, basically 8 hours, is suffice. Because when I pick it up in the morning and vape it, it is vape ready. Now, I haven't vaped every single recipe out there. E-liquid recipes has thousands of the things, okay? But I do make some oh good grief, some creams. I make some desserts. I make some fruits, all of which, okay, have been vape ready the next morning. What I mean by that is I cannot tell any difference from the next morning till 2 weeks from then, a month from them, or 2 months from them. Now, none of my juices last longer than 2 months, so I can't say beyond that. Okay, but from what I can tell, and from all the feedback that we've got from all the other testers, they see the exact same thing. Just a little bit of settling time, and you're ready to go. That's vape ready juice, and just go for it. So from here, what I will do, you know, since this is a brand new project, it's like I say, in beta testing right now. Can't really give you any information in regard to how to get a hold of it or anything at this moment. We've got to figure that out, to be honest with you. I don't know how in the heck we're going to broadcast that over YouTube, or get around that snafu, as it were. But we will. I'll either update this video or process a new video entirely, you know, as the situation warrants it. Keep everybody abreast on this, but this is just a fantastic leap forward for especially the DIY juice mixer. Okay, you can't afford necessarily to throw $2,000 at a homogenizer or better. Okay, and like I say, this is very, very cost effective. You can use you know, a number of Dremel tools with this, and you can get advice as to which Dremel tools you can use from the gentleman who actually creates this thing. So I guess with that, I'm just gonna thank you for all watching. I'm hoping you enjoyed this, and I'll be interested to see what kind of interest this generates among DIY juice makers. So until next time, take care. See you soon.